So I told you a while back that I signed up for a Cybertruck, right? And the reason why I signed up for the Cybertruck, the main reason why I signed up for a Cybertruck, was that it looks damn cool. It looks cool. I mean, this is the problem I have with most cars on the road nowadays. They look terrible. They're all same old, same old. They look exactly the same. Now, I'm not going to argue with you whether or not it's government regulations or it's car manufacturers just stealing ideas from each other, but almost everything you see on the road looks exactly like almost everything else you see on the road. I mean, we're in 2021, people. This is the future. We should have futuristic looking vehicles out there on the road. So when I first saw the Cybertruck, I thought to myself, yes, this is exactly what vehicles of the 2020s should look like, right? So I immediately slapped down my $100 and I said, well, if they don't change the design too much, then I'm definitely going to get this car. So now, as it's getting closer and closer and closer to the date when the Cybertruck is about to come out, I'm thinking to myself, have I made the wrong decision? You see, when I'm surfing around on these boards talking about electric vehicles, there are so many people who are so adamant that they want to see the internal combustion engine, or the ICE, as they call it, out of their lives. That it's some kind of plague on mankind, that the internal combustion engine is horrible. It's the most horrible thing that we could ever have invented because it leads to climate change. And I think we are missing a bit of, I mean, we're having the same problem with objective and subjective reality again, is that, first of all, if you have an electric vehicle, you have to think to yourself, that where is the energy for my electric vehicle being generated, right? Because if you think about an electric vehicle, even though you're not spewing out any fumes or doing things to affect climate change, where is the energy for your electric vehicle being generated, right? I mean, at least when you have an internal combustion engine, you know that the energy is being generated inside the combustion engine, right? Inside the combustion engine. Fuel goes in, sparks happen, boom. The combustion engine itself is generating the electricity, or is generating the energy required to push your vehicle. Whereas with an electric car, who knows where that energy is being created? It could be created in a coal-fired plant. It could be created through oil and fracking. It could be clean energy, or it could be dirty energy. You have no idea. So really, when you buy an electric vehicle, all you're doing is pushing off the responsibility of where the energy is coming from to some unknown place. So it's almost like, well, if I don't know where it's coming from, that's okay, because, you know, I don't care. At least I'm not spewing. But all you're doing is pushing the responsibility onto whoever's providing you the electricity. So if you have PG&E or one of these other facilities nearby you, and they use a coal-fired plant to get electricity to your door, then that's what's happening. You're basically driving around a coal-fired plant. So that's one thing about electric cars, right? And the second thing is that I think we've done too much to demonize the internal combustion engine. The internal combustion engine is one of the most effective, efficient, energy-producing things that humankind has ever developed. And in fact, in its latest iterations, it's incredibly efficient, it's incredibly low carbon producing, it's incredibly advanced from where it started. So if you ask me, if you're really interested in helping the environment, if you're really interested in reducing climate change, you're not going to buy an electric vehicle at all. If you're going to need to buy a vehicle, first of all, don't buy a vehicle at all. Just use a bike. If you can get around on your bike, then just use a bike. Don't purchase any kind of vehicle. But if you must purchase a vehicle, then you have to purchase, I think if you really want to be the most conscientious, purchase the smallest displacement internal combustion engine to move you from point A to point B in the way you want. That is probably like a scooter or a motorcycle, if it just wants to move you. If you need to move a family, then you can get a internal combustion engine, but get a small one and get manual transmission. Learn how to drive manual transmission, because if you could get a small displacement engine with a manual transmission, you're generating your own electricity, or sorry, here I go again. You're generating your own energy from your own vehicle with a minimum amount of carbon dioxide output, and you know where it's coming from. You know it's coming from your car, and you can choose how often to drive it, right? So all the choice comes back to you. And I think if you opting for a very small displacement internal combustion engine with a manual transmission, if you have to get a car, is probably the best way, the absolute best way to do something about climate change if you care so much. You're not fobbing off the decision of where the electricity is being created to some other entity which may be creating it in a dirty way. So I say to you, if you really are concerned about climate change, if you really are concerned about it, don't buy an electric car at all. Use a tiny combustion engine, the tiniest combustion engine you can do, and even better, stop completely, just get on a bike and go.